I called him up, and then they go, yeah, we're casting for a movie. It didn't have a name at the time, but the movie ended up being Idiocracy. A couple of days later, the lady calls me up, and she says, hey, Mike just saw your film, your video, and he thought you were funny. He had me read for the Secretary of Defense in the movie Idiocracy, and then he had me read for like 3 other parts.
When we reach a pinnacle in our life, success, we don't want to necessarily believe that we're there or that we deserve it. So we up. That little voice in our head gets in our head, and it starts talking shit to us, right? They don't know all the blood, sweat, and tears that we got to go through.
They see all the glamour and the glitz, but they don't really see the struggle and the hustle, man.
That's right. King of the Hill. How did you land that part? Is it just again through the relationship?
Just through the relationship with Mike, man.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And because he's put me in a lot of things, man. Over the years, Emilio, the chef, the sous chef for Bobby's Restaurant, and I'm like kind of like his voice of reason and always trying to help him out and give him advice,
It's Mauricio Mejia live on YouTube.
All right, guys, welcome back. We are here live, Mauricio Mejia live inside of Studio B in the heart of Silicon Valley, downtown San Jose. And today we got the honors and pleasure of having a special guest. Guys, if you remember King of the Hill, it was back in the days. It was one of the dopest shows, just kind of like it was kind of like The Simpsons, but an adult version of The Simpsons, and then South Park, but on a whole different scale. Live on the show, got to welcome Anthony Campos, my brother. Yeah. Thank you for being here today, man. You, from L.A. to the Bay, man.
LA
you
to
guys,
the Bay, man. We made it, man. We made it.
I saw the post, man, and you guys were straight just. I saw the TV. You guys were watching the game too, and all that good stuff.
It was like, man, I was like, oh, we got Wi-Fi in there, and and I go, what year is this? And he goes, the homie goes, it's a 1995 GMC van.
Hey, we put some Wi-Fi in that sucker too.
I go, man, this is tight. So we're keeping it.
Yeah. Well, welcome to the show, man. Thank you. I got to give a big shout out to Veronica.
Shout out to Veronica Vero.
She's amazing. She's also my publicist, by
yeah,
the way.
Dope, man.
She represents us both and stuff.
Yeah, she was telling me, man. So she was talking about your books too, man. So I'm looking forward, man, to reading them, man.
Well, thank you. You'll definitely learn. Already backstage we were talking about where we kind of grew up.
Yeah.
And I grew up in Highland Park. That's
literally right there around the corner.
Right around the corner.
We grew up in East LA Boyle Heights. So they call it the Onella,
Oh man,
Northeast LA, man.
There you go. Hey, that's the new acronym now, Onella, right?
Yeah, now they call it Nella, But well, they've been calling it like that for a minute, because I've known a lot of cats from over there. So for a while, I've been hearing that word Nella. Northeast LA.
All right, that's the first one for me. Hey, we got to make it sound cool now, right?
Everything's attention spans are going down. Everything is going down, so they're trying to shrink everything up now.
Crazy, man. Crazy times. So, before we start, obviously, I want the audience out there to get to know a little bit about you. Born and raised, you have brothers and sisters, background on your family and all that good stuff, just to kind of get an idea of the things that, not just that everybody has a story, right? Yeah. We all go through stuff, and not only do we have to go through stuff, but we all have a background.
Yeah.
And next thing you know, we come up and we're a voice of a character. We're on TV. We're an artist or something that pops off.
Yeah.
But they don't know the journey. They just see the highlight of it. Exactly. They don't know all the blood, sweat and tears that we got to go through.
They see all the glamour and the glitz, but they don't really see the struggle and the hustle, man.
That's right. So give us a little background, born and raised, and a little bit of that.
Yeah, so basically I was born and raised in East LA, Boyle Heights, and a lot of people always say, well, what side? I go, actually both sides, because there's a division. I don't know if you're familiar with it. There's a division between Boyle Heights and East LA, the city of Boyle Heights, and a lot of people from Boyle Heights, like hardcore natives, from Boyle Heights, they get mad when people say, "Oh, East LA," they call it East LA, but they're like, "No, it's not. This is Boyle Heights." But you're on the east side of LA, so. But I grew up on both sides, on the city of East LA and Boyle Heights, and right on the borderline, and I had family and friends on both sides, so I was, I was just running the streets on, just doing a bunch of dumb shit. And it's just one of those things as a child, man. You really don't realize anything as you're growing up, where you're at,
That's right. I definitely can touch upon on that, because growing up in Highland Park, it was a rough neighborhood back then. Late 80s, early 90s, actually mid 80s, and then I just remember growing up as a kid. It was just some crazy times.
Yeah,
not like what we're going through today, but it's just a different version.
Yeah, I mean, you know, I remember back in the days, you couldn't even walk down the street without getting shot at or hit at, you know, hit up on, you know, because, you know, every corner was a block. Everybody, there was a neighborhood on every street.
It is true. It is true. I remember growing up in Highland Park. For me, I mean, I got exposed to a lot of the gangs that were down there.
Yeah.
I mean, you had different cliques. You had the Sureños, you had 18th Street, you had Avenues, you had White Fence, you had Mara Salvatrucha. I mean, you had all kinds of, everything was just brewing.
Yeah.
And no one could get along, so everything was just brewing.
A lot of tension.
Yes.
Just a lot of tension, man.
Lot of tension, and I think it's, you know, just the tough times.
Yeah.
You know, so, but you know what? I look back and I said I'm proud to say that I grew up in Highland Park, and I'm proud to have gone through the things that I went through to get to where I'm at today. And I think it's you can run a parallel to that story because you grew up in Boyle Heights. And do you have brothers and sisters?
I do, half siblings.
Okay.
I'm an only child from my mom's side.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? And my dad, on my dad's side, I'm the youngest of 16.
Whoa.
Yeah, so I always tell my son right here, you know, Eric, you know, it's always saying your grandpa was a plumber. And he's like, what do you mean? Well, that fool was laying pipe everywhere, man.
my dad's off the hook too. So I have myself and my sister with my mom. But I got 12 brothers and sisters total, right? That we counted so far, right?
That
so
you know.
I was like, my dad was a Rolling Stone, bro.
Yeah, there might be more. There might be more, man.
But so growing up in LA, Boyle Heights, it's you then, and you have your half brothers and sisters.
But I really didn't grow up with them, you know,
Got it.
because I didn't really get to meet them till I was like about I don't know, about 16. My
that's
dad,
normally when you find out.
yeah,
right?
my dad one day just decided to have a big old reunion, a big old barbecue, you know. And so I'm there, you know, and I'm, you know, at that time, I'm a rocker with long hair, you know, and, you know, I'm just out there with torn
I don't believe
jeans.
it, bro. I don't believe it. Long hair?
I know,
All right.
the hair's gone.
Yeah, this year we're gonna talk some shit, right? I love it when we can have good conversation. Plus, you're a comedian. You know what's up, bro.
That's right. Yeah, man. Yeah, man. You know, eventually I lost the hair, man. That's what happens when you get married, man. So, you know. But then when you get divorced, I was hoping to get it back, but it just never came back, you know. But yeah, man. So yeah, it was, man. All I can say, it was some wild times, you know. When I finally got to meet my siblings, man. My dad had the reunion. And it was just a trip because I had brothers and sisters that were like 15 years older than me.
Oh, wow.
They were doctors and lawyers. I was like the only black sheep of the family. You know?
Wow.
And the only one I got along with was my sister Betty, but she was only a year older than me. And so we became real tight, you know. So I was like 16, she was 17, and we became real tight to where the point where we used to hang out. I used to hang out with her friends. She used to hang out with my friends. We used to always, you know, party on the weekends.
Yeah.
She had a mini truck because she was working at the time, you know, and so she had a little mini truck. And so
hey,
you know,
those were popular back in the day.
So we would go out cruising, you know, down Hollywood Boulevard, you know, the old school stuff, man. And yeah, it was cool, man. Till one day I just lost contact with her because she eloped with her boyfriend, and long story short, I just never heard back from her ever since, man. And that was the last time.
To this day?
To this day, yeah.
Ooh, man, that's crazy. What high school did you go to?
I went to a variety of high schools.
Hey, you kind of sound like me. I was about to say, well, I went to like 5 different high schools and shit.
Because originally, see, I was in Mexico for 3 years, man, because I was getting out of control here, right? When I left, so I was 13. So when I came back, I was already like 16. So they put me in Roosevelt.
Okay.
And I was constantly getting into shit over there because, you know, I was, I don't want to say I was a little bit more advanced, you know, but I was constantly getting into stuff, you know, and altercations with teachers.
Yeah.
I had a problem with authority, you know, and, you know, like, and I felt like that time, man, well, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you're telling me to do this, but you know, it's like some of the work, I already knew some of the work because in Mexico, the schooling was a little bit more advanced.
Interesting.
So it was weird, man. You know, and we could talk about that after. You know, it's like when I went over there, they put me back. And then when I came over here, they didn't know what to do with me because I was too advanced.
Oh, wow.
It was weird, yeah. So I ended up always getting into some kind of altercation at school with somebody or whatever, or a teacher. So I ended up bouncing around from Roosevelt, Garfield, Wilson, and then by El Sereno, Wilson High School.
Oh, yeah, I know.
And then I ended up at Boyle Heights Continuation.
Wow.
And I didn't even graduate from there, man.
Okay.
At the end, I just walked out.
Interesting that you hit the education part because I was just talking about this. You know, right now we're in some fucked up times.
Yeah.
You know, it's just interesting to see the comments and the shit people say right now, and go back to your country, go speak your language, and it's like you go to other countries and they're fucking speaking. You go to like Mexico, they're learning 3 to 4 different languages. They're learning Chinese, they're learning obviously English, they learn Spanish, and they learn French.
Yeah.
And they're teaching that shit in school.
Yeah.
Which blows my mind.
It's a regular class.
It's a regular.
And English is like the #1 class in Mexico. Like they have to take.
So when I hear shit like that, it blows my mind, the ignorance and just again the current times that we're in.
Yeah.
And it makes you just wonder, at what point do people wake the fuck up and be like, yo, dude, like, we got to take it. We got to look at life differently, and we got to take a different path, man.
Yeah.
And I think that kind of goes with us. Like, me leaving LA wasn't by choice. I left LA because I knew I was getting into shit. I was getting into the party scene heavy. I know that the competition, when you start rising, you start getting all the haters.
Yeah.
And at a young age, you don't know what the hell it is. All you know is that you're about to get into some trouble. And I remember the day I bounced from LA. I mean, I talk about it in my book. By the way, enjoy the copy, bro. Let me know. Give me some feedback.
Yeah, for sure.
Kids were just brutal back then, and I remember leaving LA because if I didn't leave, I probably wouldn't be out free right now. I'd probably be incarcerated because of some dumb shit that I probably got into defending myself.
Yeah.
Right? Because that's really what it's about.
Yeah.
And when you're living in those streets,
you're pretty much living on survival mode.
That's right. That's right. So again, I just I chose that I wanted to get out of the lifestyle, the situation that I was in at a young age, and I got the opportunity, and I took it, and I ran with it.
You have to. Yeah.
And I think that when I look and I read your background and the things that you've accomplished, there's times where there's people that are out there watching and saying, "Damn, how did he get there?"
Yeah.
They look at us and they'll stereotype us. They'll look at our luckily, I have tattoos, but they're just all hidden.
Yeah.
But they'll look at our tattoos and they'll make assumptions.
Yeah.
They don't know any better, right? I'm sure you dealt with it. I'm sure you dealt with it. And,
that's how it is.
But then when you surprise them, you're like, hey, I just hit a role in this, or I just did this, or I'm touring now. I'm doing comedy across the United States. They're looking at you like, what?
Yeah, and I've experienced that too, where all of a sudden they changed their tune. Like somebody, I forgot where we were at, and somebody said they were like kind of like they were trying to like. I don't know if it was like degrade me or whatever, but they were trying to kind of like almost like look down upon you, like they were trying like not directly shit to me, but they were kind of like throwing shit at me.
Yeah. And
then somebody goes, that's so and so from King of the Hill, right? And they're like, oh shit, they thought I was I was just a gangbanger.
Yeah. Well, I mean, again, they don't know any better.
Bald head, I mean, I get it. I can't be mad at them either, because I get it. I looked the part, so.
Hey,
it is what it is.
You were trying to be recruited for the next gangster movie,
but you never know. Yeah, you never know. What that person does. Like I've been in rooms where cats, you look at them, you don't even know. Like these fools are CEOs in banks. Like big. You see them in regular clothing, and a lot of these fools are tatted up. But when they're at work, suited up, you would never be able to tell.
It's an interesting world out there. So. High school, did you graduate or no?
I ended up walking away.
You're walking away at a continuation.
I got frustrated because I was like, I'm telling you, I was 2 years ahead when I left LA and I got sent to Mexico.
Yeah,
I was 2 years behind.
Yeah.
So then when I ended up coming back, now I'm 2 years ahead. So it's like, dude, what do they do with me? So I'm like jumping around.
You're confused and stuff. You're too advanced. So what happens next? What do you do?
After that, man, I just started working construction, Okay. I had a couple of homies that were working already, and their dads own a construction company. So, shout out to my boy Jose and Gus, man. Their stepdad actually, had a construction company. So he would take us to work.
Yeah.
He started taking us there. So I started learning about hard work.
Yeah.
Right away, man.
It's funny because I did construction at a young age. Too.
Yeah.
I'm like, there was no weekends for us.
Yeah, that's how it was. Yeah, we were working on the weekends too.
Yeah, and then after school, it was like, get your homework done. And believe it or not, there was like, there's no homework. Just let's get to work. Let's go. Like, it was the unit everyone had to work as a unit.
Yeah.
My at that time, my what I don't want to call him my stepdad because he wasn't, but he was just someone that it was in our lives and in my mom's life, and he was a contractor.
Yeah.
And I remember that after school, it was like, hey, there's no sitting down watching TV. There's no kicking it at home. There's like get to the job site and we gotta get to work. And we would finish 7, 8 o'clock at night. And then on the weekends, it was no weekends. It was like get to work and let's go. Vámonos.
And it's a lot of long hours construction, man.
Yeah,
You start feeling it.
Start feeling my hands. It starts reminding me of like the hard work.
Yeah,
It was like
I remember the first week. After doing that, actually the first couple of days, man. After that, man, I remember I didn't want to go back. After like 2-3 days, man, I was like sore, man. My whole body was just sore, man. I was just laying in the tub.
It's hard work, man. So you're working, and how old are you at that time? Probably
I was about
17, 18?
about 18. 18, yeah.
Okay, 18 years old. You're working. What's happening? What's going through your mind during that time, and what clicks, or does anything? At what point do things click in your life?
I mean, at that time, you know what I'm saying? Is like I wasn't really too focused on thinking as far as entertainment or nothing. Although since I was a kid, I always wanted to be in the entertainment business. Since I was like 7 years old, as far as I can remember. But at that time, I was just already 18. I'm making some cool money. So I'm just thinking about trying to buy, a fly ride, like I'm already thinking, I'm not even getting paid yet. I'm already like spending my money and shit, man,
Typical Latino, right? I was on that boat with you too, bro. All the money came in, anything that came in went right out.
That's all that was on my mind at the time, trying to give me a fly ride, man, and then, but at the same time, I was like, man, but this construction shit, man, this is killing me, man. It's like, there's got to be something easier. I'm thinking to myself, and I ended up getting into warehouse work, doing shipping and receiving, and then I got into forklift driving and all that. So I was like, okay, this is a little more chill,
Yeah.
And I just learned I can't be smoking weed while I'm driving the forklift because then, it's just all bad. I was knocking shit down everywhere, man. But yeah, no. So that was my focus at the time. I was like, man, I'm trying to get me a fly ride and just go pick up on chicks on Hollywood Boulevard. That was it.
Yeah,
I wasn't really thinking. I wasn't really thinking the future. Like, well, what am I gonna do down the line?
that was I can relate to that because that's what we were exposed to at a young age, right?
Yeah, it was that era like that, man.
How old are you by any chance?
I'm about to be 57 in November.
Okay,
I had to double check. Yeah, November.
So I'm 49, but I lived like I was like your age, 57, man. I grew up at a very young age quickly. 15 years old, I was already running the streets.
Especially in the hood, man.
Yeah, and we didn't get back home till the lights went, the street lights went on, and going to school, was it was like daycare. It was basically daycare for us.
Yeah,
exactly. Mom went to work. We went to school to get taken care of, go eat, and then went back. But there was never really a structure.
It was the same thing like that.
Yeah, there was no structure for us. But I knew that God put me in this world for something bigger and better.
Yeah.
And I knew that there was a bigger calling. And I just knew. And I didn't have a father figure in my life, and I always seek that discipline or that structure in my life. So again, I wanted more in life, and that's what, again, life just kind of took me.
Yeah. That's kind of how I felt too, bro.
Yeah.
Since I always felt like there was always something bigger out there.
Absolutely.
I just didn't know what.
Yeah.
I just felt like there's something that just keep
and
going.
There's still more coming.
Let's keep going.
There's still more coming.
You know what I'm saying? Right now, the future looks bright, man. You just never know what's gonna happen. But I mean, it seems like we're opening up more doors.
Well, statistically, they say as the older we get, obviously, our mindset changes, and they've said, and they've showed studies, most millionaires, with some exceptions, most millionaires become millionaires after in their 50s, or they become more stable and secure because they're thinking differently than when we were younger.
When we were younger, I mean, when we were younger, we just wanted to make money and spend it on dumb shit. That was it.
Hey, just keep
Have
going.
Have a good time. That was it.
Just keep going, and this is going to be forever, right?
Yeah.
And then, and I just remember that was my motto: just go, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I always share with people, that from 15 to 25, I just jammed hard on the nightclub scene. I was promoting, I was producing, made my first million at 25, 28, multimillionaire. Fucking 2000 and at 32, 2008, fucking went broke when the world turned upside down. was homeless for 3 years, like couch surfing
Yeah,
and
yeah.
fucking. I mean, when you're at the when you're the
Yeah.
king of the hill,
Yeah,
bro,
yeah.
you know you're
Yeah, no,
you're-
yeah,
hey,
I've been there, and then you just all of a sudden you get
you-
back down, and
you-
it's just crazy, man.
and all the people that were like jocking you and shit, they're not around.
all of a
when
sudden you don't see nobody.
nobody's
You
calling
see
you.
you might see one or two heads. you know?
Hey, maybe that,
Yeah.
right? But then what that does is that that's life teaching us, right, to appreciate when we come back
Yeah,
up.
exactly.
On the way up, that we appreciate the things
Yeah.
that we get exposed to.
Yeah, I look at it like if I got there once, I could get there again. And if I get knocked down from there again, I'll make it again.
Again.
You know? One way or another. And you know, and I'm a firm believer in everything happens for a reason. You know, I'm a strong believer in the faith. You know,
Yeah.
I have faith. You know that. You know what I'm saying? As long as you keep a positive state of mind, everything will be all right. Even though sometimes little things get thrown in the road, man, bumps in the road, and and you get frustrated and stuff happens, man.
Yeah.
But I've learned that, you know what I'm saying? When you fall down, you just got to keep picking yourself up, man.
That's right.
Just keep
That's
going.
right.
My mom always taught me that too, man.
That's right. So let's go into your 20s now, right? So obviously you're working. School wasn't, you just got you passed through it, got into school. What happens next after construction? You're figuring out, because I'm kind of getting that. You're like, man, this can't be it. There's got to be more to life.
Yeah.
Working hard and all the stuff. I mean, yeah, you're having fun and you're probably getting what you want. Just to,
Yeah.
you're living a different. It's a lifestyle that you're feeding into.
Yeah.
What clicks?
Well, when I got into my 20s, before my 20s, like around, I want to say like 88, 89, I started, hip hop was like blowing up.
Yeah.
It was huge,
Yeah,
all these groups from the East Coast were coming out.
Yeah,
The
yeah.
West Coast was emerging,
Yeah.
the NWA, everything,
Yeah.
KRS-One, Billy Dunn, like Eric B. and Rakim. I'm listening to all the LL
Yeah.
Cool J, the Beastie Boys.
That's right.
So I'm like, man, I'm like, dude, this is dope, and I've
Yeah.
always wanted to do something like that, like music, so,
Yeah.
and I've always been into breaking. I was
Mm-hmm.
always a breaker in the 80s,
Yep.
in the early 80s, so
I
so
tried it,
hip-hop-
but I just
hip-hop
wasn't my
was just
thing.
in the blood, but when rap came in, it really took over.
Yeah.
Because breaking, it's a whole nother. It's like a sport, man. Really,
Yeah.
man. To be honest, man, and you have to be dedicated, and I was dedicated to it, man. To the point where I was breaking limbs and pinching nerves, and I was at the Salvador, the chiropractor every week, man. My mom was just like, dude, now you're making no money. Like what the hell you doing? You're breaking bones for nothing, man. So yeah, man. The early late 80s, that's where I'm at, like around 89 is where I really started like focusing on writing raps. And I started like trying to mimic a lot of the cats that were blowing up.
Yeah.
I was writing down their lyrics and I was paying attention. I was playing their flows. And then I started hanging around with a group of homies that I met around the area that were getting into rapping too.
Yeah.
So we kind of just like bonded, and we just started like hanging out with each other and helping each other write rhymes,
Yeah.
and just doing stuff like that. And then 1992, by that time I think I was already like 20.
Shit, by that time already, we
21.
had Kid Frost was already
Yeah,
out.
that was our
already-
biggest inspiration,
Yeah.
Frost and Mellow Mayonnaise.
Mellow Mayonnaise.
And then when
I've had
Cypress
Mellow
Hill-
Mayonnaise on the show.
Yeah,
Oh, man, that's my boy.
That's the homie right there. Yeah, man. Yeah. I've known Mellows. When they were when he was in Cypress, he's always part of Cypress, no matter
Yeah,
what.
no matter what, bro.
But yeah, you know what I'm saying. Before he went off on his own,
Yeah.
and he used to come out and hang out with us too, and we used to just all chill, man. And so he was one of our biggest inspirations, obviously, because he got the first, before Kid Frost, it was him.
Yeah.
He blew up. He's doing Spanglish, so he was the biggest inspiration for Latinos in hip hop, all over the world. And then Frost comes along, and then that just threw it over the top because he was Chicano. He was doing videos and doing interviews in my city.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So he was always in around East LA and Boyle Heights. You know?
Yeah.
And so he was.
It was
that's what he.
it was a crazy time during
Yeah.
that time too. When I
Yeah.
mean, the song couldn't have come out at a perfect time.
Yeah, it was
This is for the raza.
Yeah, that's why I always say everything happens for a reason, and everything happens divine timing, man. Everything.
Yeah, man.
When it's supposed to happen, man.
That thing.
It
that
took
wa-
over the world.
That was the song that carried the Latinos, the Mexicanos. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm Salvadorian, man, and Salvadorians and Mexicans in L.A. We had to get along.
Yeah.
Somehow,
Yeah.
even though there was.
I feel it's the same. It's the same culture, man. It's the same thing, man.
It's the same, but the streets were fucking creating the divisions, right?
exactly,
You
yeah.
had Mara trying to do things. You had 18th Street doing the other thing. it was just crazy. The division amongst ourselves.
It's ego tripping sometimes, man. You know what I'm saying? And it shouldn't be that way, man. Because if we all, like, figured out, like, hey, man, we could make this bread together.
That's right.
It would be huge, man. It would be more bigger. You know.
Well, I think we're gonna
feel like getting
see
there,
that.
man.
We're slowly but surely we're getting there. And I think that we need to when you have things that are like happening right now, it brings us closer together.
Exactly.
Even though there is some people that are out there that are just. I'm like, yo, man, you guys are on the wrong side of the
well,
track.
you're always gonna have knuckleheads no matter what, man.
You're on the wrong side of the track, but we're gonna still fight for you. We're gonna still, one day you'll open up your eyes and you'll come back. So you're let's just say mid-20s now. At what point does things start clicking for you differently? Because you don't just get to where you're at overnight, man. You do comedy. You're acting now in the sense of you're a character. One of the baddest. At one point, it was one of the top shows back in the day.
Yeah.
And it's on a comeback now.
Yeah.
So share that journey. At what point do you hit that fork in the road, man? Because right now you're surrounded by negativity right now.
I think around the time when I started getting more into the rap scene, after Frost came out, I think that made all the difference because he opened up a lot of doors for a lot of people, right? So at that time, we were already doing demos.
I'd love to get him out on here, man.
Yeah,
you got his connection, or
I don't have his direct connection. We're gonna talk to him in a minute, but yeah, Veronica will make it happen.
You better get me Kid Frost on the show too.
Yeah, Veronica will make it happen. Yeah. She will.
Yeah.
But so he was a bigger inspiration, because he came from the same area, and even though he was considered an army brat because his pops was in the army, so he was traveling a lot. But a lot of his roots was based in East Los, at Bow Heights. So
I haven't heard that in a long time.
So
East Los.
yeah, right.
East Los.
So he filmed a lot of stuff there, man.
Better be careful. We're a bunch of norteños up here, bro.
No, I got mad love for the norte too because I have a lot of homies up here, man.
Yeah.
I have a lot of, it was crazy because back then we used to come do shows up here, and we used to kick it with some guys from Berkeley. They were called Brown Skin Artists. Shout out to Brown Skin Artists, man, and BSA, man. So they always took care of us when we came up here, man. And when they went down there, we always took care of them, make sure they were good. But so Frost was the inspiration, and after that is we started cutting demos.
Okay.
And we were cutting demos, and then next thing you know, we started doing car shows, man, and we ended up doing our first car show that we ever opened up for a big artist happened to be Frost.
Okay.
So we opened up, and it was at Montecito Park in El Sereno. This is like 1990, I think. Yeah. So at this time, I had already got married.
El Sereno was no joke back then.
Yeah, no, El Sereno, Highland Park, all that area was wild, man.
Yeah.
East LA, Bow Heights, all the way, everything. That whole area was just nothing but negativity, man.
Oof.
I mean, it was good times, but at the same time, there was a lot of negativity going on, man.
Yeah.
But so we started doing that, man. We cut the demos, and next thing you know, we got a little record deal with an independent label, and we dropped our first single. It's called Dope House in the Ghetto. And next thing you know, it was just blowing up in the underground, man.
What is it called again?
Dope House in the Ghetto.
All right. If we YouTube it, we can find it?
Yeah. I think,
all right,
I think you can find it. Yeah, I think it's on YouTube, man. Yeah.
All right. Well,
I don't know the videos of it, but I know you can find the song.
Hey, the song. Someone bootlegged the song.
So the name of the group at that time was called BrownTown.
Okay.
And so everywhere we went, everybody thought we were a gang.
Oh.
It was BrownTown, and then we were only like 6 or 7 deep,
Yeah.
So they thought it was a gang, but we were all rappers and the DJ,
Oh man.
And so so that set it off right there. And then at that time I was working. I had been working for 5 years at this one company where they do parts for slides, and then I was working in the plating department, so I was doing chroming and all, and I worked my way up in those 5 years. And we get that deal, that record deal. Next thing you know, we're getting all these shows and we're doing shows. So now it's hard for me to keep the job.
Yeah.
And now and pursue the rap career. So now I'm at a point. My manager at the time tells me, "Hey, Anthony, you're gonna have to choose, bro, because it's either the rap thing or your job, man. Because right now it's hot right now. The single is going places.
Yeah.
And for being underground, it was an underground single. We were like we're getting requested, to open up for like different groups and doing shows. So it got to a point where I had to make that choice. So in like 1993, I just left my job, man, and never looked back, man. And then I just kept going, man. And I knew it was.
How did that feel when you left your job?
I mean, it was like a breath of fresh air because I was just tired of the same. I was working like 12 hours a day, Saturday 6 hours,
for somebody else.
Yeah. And even though it was a good position,
wage,
and I
too,
was
bro.
I was making good money at that
Okay.
time because it was a big company.
Got you.
It was a big company. They were from Germany, but they were based here in Ontario, in Ontario, California.
Yeah.
And Santa Fe Springs as well. They had 2 plants. So they were making money, man. They were like a big company, so they were paying everybody good, man. They were taking, and I had a good position. Like I worked my way up, within those 5 years. So that's what was making it harder because if it would have been just a shit position, I would have been like, fuck this shit. I'm out. I'm out.
Yeah.
But which I did do in another job down the line. That's another story, man. I gave him the 2-finger salute and walked out, man.
Adios.
And I was out, but
so you're on tour now. Your music is the single is hitting.
His singles hitting. We're doing radio interviews left and right. We're
cool.
going. We're going all over the place, and the song's not even getting radio airplay because of what we're talking about. We're talking dope house in the ghetto. Like we're talking about selling crack. Just like some heavy duty shit, man, heroin and all. And it's like I don't know why we were thinking about that, but at the same time, we kind of were doing that. So we were kind of snitching on ourselves in a way. So it's like. And that's what I always say. I go, man, like now I think about it, I go, man, rappers, man, and even to this day, man, everybody's just snitching on each other. And they wonder why they get caught, man.
Yeah.
Like, I think about it now. I was like, man, I thank God we didn't get busted because we were doing a lot of side shit, like the street shit, and still trying to do this because at the time, like I said, I left my job, so now I have no other option. But I have ties to the street.
Yeah.
So now I'm kind of back to selling drugs, trying to make money, and then at the same time trying to make money off the music shit. The music shit really ain't making money yet because it's barely taking off. We're barely doing promo tours, and we're barely making money to fund the tours, and the manufacture more cassettes.
I think people have a perception when they see someone behind the camera or when they see an artist that they're making hand over fist money. It's a lot of hard work. It's a lot of hard work, man. It's a lot of investment. It's a lot of time, energy, and money to get to where you want to be. And sometimes you'll get lucky with just one song.
Yeah, you never know.
Maybe an album. Yeah, you never know because the people. It's what the people like.
Exactly.
Right. So you try to feed into that energy, and you just never know. And one day, sometimes people get lucky, and artists get lucky, and so forth. So
yeah, man, you just never know. It's
a grind.
It's a grind. You just gotta be consistent with it, man, and something's gonna eventually hit. Something's gonna happen.
I tell people the same thing with my show. It's like you just never know. There's gonna be that one person that comes on the show that it resonates with the entire world, and that's the one that hits.
Yeah.
But it's a numbers game, right?
Exactly.
We got to keep trying. We got to keep whenever we get knocked down, we got to get back up, and we got to keep trying and going.
Yep.
And so far, you've had a lot of those.
Yeah.
Getting to where you're at, right? You've also hit a lot of forks where you got to make a decision: my consistent paycheck, or do I take a risk and gamble on myself?
Yeah.
Right.
And I was married at the time too,
Ooh.
so that made it even worse because my wife at the time, it was like, man, she wasn't having it. She was like, "What the fuck are you doing?"
Yeah, you got somebody in your ear, right? Like it's another voice, right? And you're following your dream in your heart.
Yeah.
And somebody's like, "Hey, we need food and the roof over our head."
Yeah.
I love your shit, but hey, it is what it is.
Yeah.
So, how long is the music career go for?
Let me see. So officially it started in 1992, and then from there, a couple of years of touring and stuff like that, and then things didn't go exactly how I planned, and so the group kind of dismantled. Everybody kind of just went their way. Everybody got
egos kicked in.
Yeah, egos kicked in, and people get depressed, and all kinds of shit going on because of like the pipe dream is over. And I'm thinking, my other boy was saying that my partner at the time, he kept saying the pipe dream is over. I go, what do you mean, dude? We're fucking barely starting, dog.
Yeah.
This is our first single, dog. Like I felt like, for being our first time putting some shit out like that, we did good.
Yeah.
We didn't get that much money, but we did good. I mean, what do you expect? It's like, man, it was an independent record label.
You got to keep pushing.
Yeah, and then the label too didn't. They fucked us for a lot of money too, man. So
They're an independent label.
Yeah, that's for a reason.
So music, you're going through the band dismantles. What's next? Because now you're looking at like.
I took a couple years off, man, from music, to be honest, man. I took maybe like a year, 2 years, and I just started just doing odd jobs and just doing stuff like for
Going back
like
to the grind.
staffing, like staffing jobs, go to the temporary jobs, whatever,
Yeah.
just doing stuff, warehouse shit, whatever.
Construction,
security, whatever, whatever came my way. And so I did that for a couple years, man. And then I ended up meeting this other dude by the name of Cash, and we ended up putting the group back kind of together, and him and my original DJ. And so we ended up putting out another record, and it was just underground too. It was called Concrete Funk. And we put that out, and we toured again for a couple of years. I had already made some connections, so I had promoters already, and I was sending out the record, and hey, we were just doing it. Now we're doing everything independently. Right. Now it's just like we're not even focused on the record label.
You learned your lessons from the first experience.
Yeah, so now it's like we're all putting in a little bit of our own money.
Yeah.
To do whatever we can, and we started doing that, and next thing you know, we're on the road again and doing shows and whatnot. So, we opened up for, at that time, I remember it was like 94, 95, we opened up for like a bunch of cats we were touring with, like Coolio and Zap and Roger, and we were just like, shout out to
funk.
A lot of the funk, there's Lighter Shade of Brown, So shout out to Johnny Lazoya, man. He is from Super Events Entertainment out there in Arizona, Phoenix. He started taking us out on tour to the Midwest.
Nice.
He started believing in us, and he started putting some money behind us, and he started taking us on the road out there because he produced these big old super lowrider shows, like big shows in Phoenix and Tucson.
Nice.
And then he would do some in New Mexico, and then with Texas once in a while. So this one had like the Midwest on lock.
Yeah.
So he would book us every year for all his shows ahead of time. So that was like a big blessing, because we go out and we do these shows, and he'd take care of us, and we were rolling deep. I remember we were like 15 deep, and he'd take care of everybody. Yeah.
Wow.
Because, these shows were making, they were making mad money at the time.
Back in the day, those were the things. There was no social media.
There was no social media, man. And so everything was by radio, flyers, and word of mouth.
That's right.
So we went on that circuit for a little while. We were doing all the lowrider shows, man. And just for between, I want to say from between 94 all the way down to like 97, 98, around that time. And then I kind of stopped music again, and I went into security, started doing bodyguard work. I was working at the House of Blues in Hollywood, and then that was kind of cool, And then I got picked up by another security company that was doing that. Master P owned the company, so I started working for No Limit Records doing security, man.
Nice.
And then after
that must have been fun because
it was cool, man.
At that time,
I remember, it was cool. I liked it.
Master P and the No Limits, that whole army they had.
They had the No Limit Army, man. So it was the No Limit Army tour. And that's when Snoop Dogg was signed to them.
Yeah.
So Master P had a whole bus for the whole crew, for and Snoop Dogg had his own 15-passenger van always behind the bus when we at the airports because he had like Trey D and he had Exhibit with them. He had he had a couple cats from the Dog Pound with them, man. But he had a couple cats with them, man. I can't remember who else was with them. So he had his Nate Dogg. He had so he had his crew. And then the bus driver didn't want them fools over because these fools smoked a lot of weed. Yeah. So the bus driver never wanted these fools in the bus, So they had to get all the time a separate passenger van for them, man. Because these
poor driver, man. Poor driver was all fucking faded.
So it was funny to see that shit, man. But it was a good time, man. It was a good time, man. And I learned a lot, I learned a lot just watching, just watching Master P work and do his thing, man. And
the work ethic that comes along.
Yeah, man.
Right? I mean, you think about what you were doing, and then you look at what these guys are doing, and their work ethic.
Well, he inspired me to get back into music again, because I wasn't doing, at that time I was already done. I wasn't trying to do entertainment no more.
Yeah.
This was like 97, 98. And then when I'd be on stage, always be the last one on stage when they would get off, and I had to make sure security, that nobody was trying to rush the stage. It was me and another security guard. And I always had to make sure they were off the stage, and I was always the last one on the bus because I had to make sure all these dudes were on the bus. Yeah. I had to make the count,
adult babysitting.
Yeah, it was pretty much like that. Yeah, wow. So I was doing that, and then when I'd be on the stage and I would be looking, I go, man, I remember, man, at one point I was doing this shit. Yeah, so that kind of just like sparked another, and I was like, I got to get back into it. And then so I told my boy, my DJ, and he goes, let's do it, man. And we started working on music. We did a record, and we ended up going to Japan, man. We ended up selling the record in Japan. We got picked up by our label out there, so we ended up touring for a little bit over there. And shout out to my boy Germ, Germism, and You know, he had a
Hey,
clothing brand.
Those Tokyo fools, they love that. They love the
Yeah.
Latino culture, bro.
Yeah, man.
I see some of those Chinese, the Japanese cholos. I was like, damn fool.
Dude,
Like,
man, let me tell you a Japanese story, man. When we were over there, I was tripping out, bro. I was just like,
I mean, they got the lingo like
Yeah.
I'm like, bro,
I
dude.
hey, bro, when we were over there, I thought some shit was gonna go down, man. Because we get
like
to
20 of those motherfuckers.
yeah,
coming.
see, the first time I didn't even know we were headlining. I thought we were just one of the openers, and then they tell me, no, you guys are headlining. We're only set to do like 20 minutes.
Oh,
and
man.
so I told so then my DJs, well, fuck, I got all the instrumentals. I got them all on record.
Yeah.
Let's just go for it. And I go, yeah, but I don't remember all the fucking lyrics to the other song. And then my other boy goes, I know, man. So if you fuck up, I'll catch you. I'll jump in, nigga. All right, fuck it. So we ended up doing an hour, man, like an hour 20 minutes almost. Yeah, and I thought I was gonna die, bro. I thought, man, I got off stage. I was just laying there for a while. I was like, bring the oxygen machine, man.
But the energy,
but the energy was sick. That's what kept us going. So when I first looked out and I saw the crowd, and I was tripping out because it seemed too quiet. I go, and it was snowing.
Oh,
and I told our tour manager, I go, hey, bro, ain't nobody gonna show up. It's fucking snowing. He goes, dude, trust me, people are gonna show up. There's a train station in the convention center. The train they come from all over the country, man, from all over the place. So it's gonna get packed. And I go, all right, fuck it. Because it was lonely when we got there. We did sound check, and I was just like, I don't think nobody's gonna show up. And
it was covered, obviously.
Yeah,
right? Okay,
when we got
right.
there, dude, it was a convention center inside.
Okay.
And they had a train station.
Yeah.
So the trains would come in from all over
crazy.
the So we're right there, and I'm tripping out. It's all quiet, and then I look out, and all of a sudden, I look down, it's fucking packed.
Oh.
But everybody's just like chilling and real quiet, real respectful. And then I looked, and I started looking real good, and I was like, hey, bro, we're gonna be all right. Because I started seeing all these cholos, Bloods and Cribs, and they're all mingling in. And I go, man, these fools are just waiting for us to come out and gonna fuck us up, bro. And he's like, no. He goes, nah, you're good, man. It's just a fashion thing here, man. They're not into the gang culture like that, man. But it's just a fashion thing. They love that LA Chicano culture, you know, the gangster culture. They love that shit,
they
man.
They really do. Yeah.
And I was like, oh man, and I couldn't really tell. So I started seeing when they started taking out their lokes, the shades. And I go, oh, okay. but these fools look legit, man.
Yeah,
I was tripping out, man. I was like, man.
You're like, and they're all tatted up too.
And they're all tatted up. The girls too.
Yeah.
They had the feather, the hair, man.
I'm telling you, when I first
all tatted up, I was tripping out.
First time I ever saw that, I was like, man, these guys fucking took it to the next level.
Yeah.
They took it to the makeup, to the cars too. They also
yeah.
got
The cars too, man.
And the lowriders out there, man, those are not they
buy them out here.
They buy them out here, and they're worth $150,000, $200,000 out there.
Yeah.
Those cars are like off the charts, man. So it seems like you got 3 rounds of music now under your belt. I mean, it's and not too many people get that many opportunities, man.
Exactly.
So you're blessed. So what happens after that record, that stint? Did you come back to the U.S. and?
Yeah, we did that record, and we were gonna release it in the U.S., but since we did that with the label over there, we cut a deal with them. The part of the deal is we couldn't release it here in the U.S. You know what I'm saying? So we never ended up cutting it here. We were performing a lot of the songs, but we didn't end up doing it, man. You know what I'm saying? It was just one of those things where we're like, well, fuck it, man. We'll just work on another record, man.
Yeah.
It is what it is, At least we're making money on that, or we made some kind of money already on that, so it is what it is, man. And we just kind of moved on, and then after that, everything kind of slowed down for a little while, man. And then I started having. I started just.
You're still married, bro? At that time?
I was actually. I had my. Okay, so I got ahead of myself too. I had my son in '94.
Okay.
So that made me grind it harder too. So I was like, okay, now I got my son. This fool eats a lot, so I was like, man. So even to this day, ask him. He's like, man. He's like, every time we go eat, it's like $100 just on him, man. But so I was like, man, I gotta keep doing. So I'm still like, doing street stuff, street hustles.
Yeah.
But at the same time doing the music, and trying to keep that balance, And so around 2001, I ended up meeting this other homie named Brown Weddle. Around 2000, I think was AK. His name was Paul Martinez, but we used to call him Brown Weddle because he was Mexican, but he looked white. You know what I'm saying? So
it was a Whitexican.
Yeah, it was a Whitexican, but we called him Brown Weddle, That was his nickname. And rest in peace, by the way. Homie passed away a few years back. But Yeah, we started working with him. He's a young cat. He was hungry. He was rapping. You know, he rapped to me. I met him through some other homies. You know, through my brother Adrian right here, Ace. You know, I met him through him because he knew it through some other homies, and we ended up vibing, and we got along cool, man. He was way younger than us, but he was like he vibed on the same level as us. You know, like he was like what they say, like an older spirit. You know, like an old soul. You know.
Yeah.
And he loved all the stuff that we loved. You know, like old school hip hop. Old school heavy metal stuff, you know, like he was into all that, you know, old school rock and everything. And we ended up working together. And we ended up cutting a record like in 2002. We dropped a double CD album, you know, it was a record label called Líderes. And then shout out to my boy Andy Herrera too. You know, he's the one that put that together. And we dropped that record. And again, here we go. Started doing shows again.
Yeah.
So
now was it the same group name too? Brown.
Now it's known as BrownTown Looters.
Okay.
You know, because you know, I don't know how we picked up the Looters along the way. Maybe because we were in the riots, I think. But so it just kind of stuck with us after that. But so we did that. That was like 2002, and then for like I want to say 2002, 2003. We toured with that record, just doing shows all over LA, and some like we went out to the Midwest again with Johnny Lozoya. He hooked us up, and then come 2004, I think late 2003, early 2004. That's when the Spanish música urbana, they call it, you know, it was blowing up. Spanish rap, was starting to blow up. And I was already doing that since way back. I was all my lyrics. I had Spanglish.
Doing that already.
So I was doing stuff in Spanglish, and then I had songs all Spanish. So then my manager, at the time that we hooked up with, he goes, bro. He was managing Acquid. I don't know if you remember a group named called Acquid. They were signed under a record company called Univision, which is Univision Records out from the TV network.
Yeah,
and he was managing them, and they were blowing up. So then he had a bunch of hookups, and he goes, "Hey, I could probably get you a deal, bro. I mean, you speak good Spanish, you rap, just do a couple of demos all Spanish, though. Like, but they want this type of shit, like they're looking for more like banda, like mixed with like corrido with accordion stuff." So we started putting together some demos, man, and we did some Mickey Mouse demos. We got together with my boy. He has the Mickey Mouse because it was like if you hear that, the original demos. To the final product, you'll be like, yeah, that was some Mickey Mouse shit right there, man. But it worked, We did on a little 4-track, and my boy DJ Panic came through with some beats, man, and they were like super like green, they weren't really like polished beats yet, but they were good enough to land us a record deal. We cut like 4-song demo, and then we gave it to that dude that ended up managing us, and then he ended up shopping it to a couple of Spanish record labels, and one of them bit, man, It was Balboa Records, which was a sister company to one of the most biggest companies in Mexico, Mozart.
Yeah.
And they were like a sister company here in the States, So they signed us, and this was like 2004. We ended up hitting the studio. They put us in a big old studio, and, they brought out even a whole live banda, like live instrumentation. Yeah. Like, they went all out with the budget. They gave us a nice budget. This was really, honestly, the first time we ever had a major record deal like that.
That's dope.
Like, on that level, like, they had everything lined up for us, promo tours. They had interviews, they sent us to Miami.
They're developing you.
Yeah,
So
this is the first time we've ever experienced anything like this. So so we're like on a high, man. And then all of a sudden I get a call from my boy Sal Rojas that ran a website called back in the day it was called brownpride.com. I don't think it exists anymore. And they called him and they're telling me, hey, how can we get a hold of this guy? They pointed me out. We wanted to come in for a reading for a Mike Judge film, man. And then after they were like, well, I mean, that's my boy. I won't give you his contact info, but if you give me yours, I'll give it to you.
Yeah. Gatekeeper and shit.
Yeah.
Gatekeeping.
Well, he didn't, because he didn't know who they really were. He goes, like, what are some people then, he goes, I don't want to give your information out. And then, they're like, there might be a hoax. But he goes, give him a call. I wasn't going to call you. Just give him a call. You never know. It might be legit. It might be some shit. It might take it to another level. So then I called him up, and then they go, yeah, we're casting for a movie. It didn't have a name at the time, but the movie ended up being Idiocracy.
Okay.
And so it didn't have a name at the time, and then they go, we're casting for this movie, and we'd like you to come in if you're interested in reading for a part, And I wasn't really tripping on acting, but I've always wanted to get into the acting world. I just didn't, But at that point, we're getting ready to drop this record. We're getting ready to go on tour. That's like the last of my focus. I wasn't gonna go.
Yeah.
And then the record company said, just go, man. Just go. You just do it. You see what happens.
Yeah.
So I went. I did the audition, And then a couple of days later, the lady calls me up and she says, "Hey, Mike just saw your film, your video, and he thought you were funny, and he wants to do a reading with you. He's coming in a couple of weeks. Will you be available?" And I go, "Yeah." I go, "Fuck it." So I met him. He came down. He was out in Texas. At the time he was living in Texas at that time. So he came out, and we sat down. And I met him, and I knew who he was. Beavis and Butthead. And stuff like that. So I already knew who he was. Man, King of the Hill, I think, was already out. It was already like in third season maybe. So I was like, cool, man. So we vibed, we hit it off, we talked. He had me read for the Secretary of Defense in the movie Idiocracy, and then he had me read for like 3 other parts, and then we chopped it up more. And then he goes, "Yeah, we'll stay in contact, man." He goes, I like your shit, man." And I go, "Well, fuck, I've never." He asked me, "Have you ever acted before?" I go, "Not really. I mean, a couple of plays in elementary, but nothing like on this level,
like some one-liners and shit. Yeah. One-liners.
So he was tripping out. He goes, "So you've never auditioned before?" I go, "Nah, it's my first time auditioning." So he was tripping out. And then, so like 2 months go by, and then I get a call. I was working at the time. I was working at now I'm working at this is like 2004. And I'm working at a TV station. I've been working there already for like from 2000 to 2004. That's why I forgot to leave that one out. I was working for LATV. I don't know if you remember LATV. They were out in Santa Monica, and I was doing a TV show called The Hip Hop Show.
Okay.
I was a co-host, so we were interviewing all kinds of people, and it ran for 5 years. So I was doing that. I was at the station across the street having lunch, getting ready to go to work. When I get the call, they go, "Hey, this so you got the part, for the My Judge film." But no, she didn't. But she goes, "You just got the part for the movie." Remember, from casting, Mary Renew casting, I think she said, and you got the part for the movie. And I'm like, "What movie?" And then so I was like trying to remember, like, what is she talking about? She goes, "The one you came with My Judge." I totally forgot. Like it was just out of my mind because I didn't think I was gonna get that shit. I was just like, I wasn't even focused on that. I was trying to do the music.
Yeah.
And so then she goes, "Yeah, the Mike Judge film, the one you read for, and you read with Mike Judge." And I go, "Oh shit, that movie!" And she's like, "Yeah." And then she goes, "Yeah, we're gonna film in Austin. We need you out here for a whole month, Austin, Texas. So you're gonna have to clear out your whole schedule for the month of August, and you just come out here, man. And we're gonna fly you. We're gonna do this. We're gonna, this is gonna be your pay." And both they start throwing everything at me real fast. I don't know none of this lingo, man.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't have no representation like that other than a music manager,
Yeah.
So I don't know none of that lingo, and I'm just like, all right, and I'm just like just coming at me all fast. But it didn't hit me till like a couple of days later. Mm-hmm. Then I started thinking about it when they sent me some other stuff for my veterinary and a bunch of other stuff, and then I was just like, fuck, I want to be in a movie. That's all I was thinking. But then when the final day came that I was supposed to go, I didn't want to go. I got cold feet. And I was like, man, what if I make myself look stupid? What if I make everybody look bad? And that was just kept going through my mind. I don't want to, what if, and I even told Mike, I go, what if you got the wrong guy, man? Maybe, maybe he's not. I kept thinking in my head too, like, I was just kind of like.
Your mind playing tricks on you now.
Yeah, like I was almost like self-sabotaging myself,
Of course
bro.
you were, 100%.
You know what I'm saying? I was 100%. Just like, I was just like super doubting myself, man.
And it happens. When we reach a pinnacle in our life, success, we don't want to necessarily believe that we're there or that we deserve it. So we fuck it up. Mm-hmm. We start fucking, that little voice in our head gets in our head and it starts talking shit to us, right? And then we start doing subconsciously, we start sabotaging the shit.
Yeah.
And success is not hard. You got to do the work, and you got to just be able to be disciplined, because when you get there, then you learn to embrace it, enjoy it, celebrate it. I've had many moments where I'm like, damn, like I look back now and I'm like, how many people can say they've written 3 books? How many people can say they have a podcast? How many people say they've made $1 million or more? Like. There's a lot of great things that how many people can say, I can't say I've done records. I know artists, but I've never done, I never know what it takes to put time into doing a record. I know what I like. I know the music, but I don't have the patience for that shit. That's studio time. It requires a lot of
patience, man.
The
acting world too, man.
Oh, I can imagine. Like, you got to say the same fucking line 100 times until they get it right. Yeah. It's like music. You got to do it 100 times before you get to that one take.
Yeah.
And maybe that wasn't even the best take, but that was the take that they made it work.
Yeah.
So you're going through all of this stuff. You land a part. Where's the comedy at in all of this? When did that jump in, or is that kind of something that just
It just happened down the line, man.
Wow.
Like years later, especially after working with George Lopez, because I did 2 seasons with
I
him.
call him Uncle George. Man.
Uncle
I love
George,
it. I
yeah,
love him, man.
Theo George.
Yeah, Theo George, yeah.
Yeah, no, I did 2 seasons with him on
Shout out too, by the way. I got to get him on the show too,
yeah,
fucker.
yeah, man. Yeah, he's just been relaxing lately, man.
Yeah, man, he's fucking just on, like, chill mode.
I think he's just kind of low key retired, man. He's not even letting anybody know, man. He's kind of just been like just chilling, relaxing, enjoying, as he should, man. He's put a lot of work in, you know.
Yeah.
So he's just enjoying life with his familia right now, you know, and watching his daughter, you know, keep doing her thing, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, I did 2 seasons with him. Show called Lopez on it was on TV Land, but this was like 2016 and 2017. We shot 2 seasons, and man, it was great because it was like a whole refreshing side of George, you know, because it was like you were seeing behind the scenes, so to speak. It was kind of like a documentary of his life, so to speak, but in the sitcom sense.
Yeah.
And I played his security and his driver, you know, Manolo. And yeah, so and like I was from his home, from his neighborhood, you know. So it was like that, yeah. And we went on these adventures, you know. And yeah, man, it was great. I think it's still on Amazon now. I think they have it on Amazon Prime.
I'm gonna have to check
Prime,
it out.
Yeah,
Man.
yeah, the 2 seasons on there, man. But yeah, I learned a lot, man. I learned a lot from George, man. He taught me a lot of like improvisation and timing, and you know, and just by watching his rhythm, man. I remember the first couple days, the first couple episodes on the first season. I remember he knew I didn't do stand up. He just knew I was an actor. But I remember one day after we did a couple of takes, he goes, "Okay, right now this next take, we're gonna try it different. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna say this, and then when you come in, and I was just like, fuck, with the blank look on, you just staring at me, you know."
Yeah.
And he looks at me like, never mind, I don't think you're ready yet, man. So, you know, so by the end of the season, you know, because they were only going to use me in a couple episodes per season, and then they ended up using me in every episode on both seasons, you know.
Nice.
And I sort of kind of became
you've been blessed, bro.
yeah, no, I
You've
got
been
to
blessed,
say,
dog.
yeah, no,
You've been blessed,
I
man.
became the fan favorite according to the fans.
Nice, nice.
So,
nice.
but yeah, no. So I always look at it like, you know, it's been a roller coaster ride, man. It's been a lot of ups and downs, you know. But you know, more downs than me than ups. But at the end of the day, I feel blessed, though. You know, I feel blessed to have worked with a lot of the people that I've worked with, you know, and you know, so yeah, like I said, I learned a lot, man. By the end of the season, I was following his rhythm, and we were killing it, man. We were just killing. Yeah, it was just everything was just going smooth.
What a great thing to say that you had a semi mentorship. You know, I mean, well, no, it's actually a mentorship. 2 years under his belt, you know, or that you get to be by his side and you get to watch and learn, and you know, and then you're breaking off and you're doing your own stuff. I mean, the exposure and then the experience that you're getting out of all that, man. That's definitely
it was
a blessing, right? This Mexican kid coming out of Boyle Heights.
Bro,
fucking,
I mean, I got to meet some of my childhood heroes, man, because of him.
Nice.
You know what I'm saying? I got to meet Eddie Van Halen. You know, that was one of his best homies. That was like they were like super tight. So George used to throw these barbecues at his pad, and like pool parties. And everybody would come through. And I got to meet a lot of cats. You know, I used to hang out with him and Cedric Entertainer and
I love Cedric,
D.L. Hughley and
D.L. Hughley right now is off the charts, bro. He's political, man. He's fucking not fucking around right now, man.
At this point, he's just like going all in, man.
All in, bro. He don't care.
Man. But I got to kick it with him too, and Cedric, man, and I chop it up, and I got to learn a lot from them, you know. And I met, got to hang out with rest in peace Charlie Murphy, you know. And he was hilarious, and also Eddie Griffith, you know.
Yeah.
Because that's when George Lopez was doing the comedy Get Down tour, you know, where it was all them and then him, and so he was like the only brown guy in there, you know.
Yeah.
And it was a dope ass tour, so I got to go to a lot of the shows and hang out with these guys, man, and you know, all the knowledge and the stories you hear hanging around with these fools, man, the old school times, man. I soaked all that in too, man. You know, I learned a lot of game from George and, like I said, and Cedric and all these cats, man. And then from there, I started hanging around with all these younger comedians, you know, because, you know, I was doing the Lopez and I was all these comedy clubs now. I'm hanging out, so I'm starting meeting all these casts. And one day I ended up getting invited to a comedy show at the Levity Live in Oxnard. My boy Monsky, he goes, "Hey, I got some tickets for a show. My brother, fucking Phil Medina's performing, man. He's hilarious. You got to check him out." And I said, cool, man. So I went down there and we hit it up, me and Phil. And then, a couple years later, next thing you know, Phil had me on stage doing stand-up. I wasn't even trying to do that because I never saw myself doing stand-up. I was a big fan of it. I just never saw myself doing it.
Yeah.
You know
but
what
you
I'm
did
saying?
it, right? And
Yeah.
you
I mean, it's taking some time, you know. I'm still learning, you know.
Hey, acting is it's practice.
Yeah.
Comedy is practice. It's
the
timing.
same thing.
It's timing,
Yeah.
right? You got to read that room. You got to. You're watching that energy. You're watching that. You're feeling that vibe. You're like, all right, when do I drop the fucking hammer on this one? And so forth. I tried it once, and I was like, I got up there. A bunch of my friends, they were doing the Chicano. The Chicano Kings of Comedy.
The original Latin Kings of Comedy.
Yeah, they were doing it. And one of my boys that was on there, he's like, "Yo, come up on the stage. You wanted to introduce me?" Like, "Yo, this is Mauricio." Blah blah blah. And I'm like, "Fucking." He's like, "Come on, bitch." He goes, "Throw some jokes on it." And I was like, and I looked at the crowd. Now I'm not afraid of the crowd. I get on the mic. Yeah. But you got the intimidation, right? Because these motherfuckers, you better make them laugh. If not, they'll fucking boo you out.
They'll boo you out quick, man.
I was like, nah, this is not for me. And I flipped it because I was like, nah, this ain't for me. This is for you clowns to do, not for me. I'm going to go out there and watch you. So I got to flip it. Everyone laughed about it. I was like, fuck, I'm out. I'm like, I saved myself off of that one because hell no, man.
Yeah, man.
How does, so all of this, man, you've been blessed. King of the Hill. Because that's right now what's hot, what's current right now with what you're doing, and obviously your other things you got going. How did you land that part? Is it just again through the relationship?
Just through the relationship with Mike, man.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And because he's put me in a lot of things, man. You know, over the years, I'm sure. I don't know if you guys remember Silicon Valley and HBO.
Yes.
I was on one of the episodes.
Damn.
You know, that's a Mike Judge project too. You know?
Oh shit! Okay.
Yeah, you know the thing I did with
Did
Lopez.
they make you shave the goatee or what?
No, they kept it on. Yeah, you can look it up. It's on man, I think it's on season 5.
Okay.
I think it's on season 5. You don't remember, huh?
I'm gonna have to check. Yeah, let's get all of that, all those little clips of things you can help us out. We'll put those in production.
Yeah, so he put me in there, man. And my son, I got my son in there, and then my boy Adrian, he's in there too. He's in one of the scenes, you know. So like I had a couple home, and then Mike goes, hey, we need more guys. Hey, you think your guys will be down to be in it? and I asked them, and they were like, hell yeah. So right away, they have them signing paperwork.
Yeah, you get an IMDb.
You get
your whatever it is, your recognition. Yeah. You guys have to get a SAG card too, right?
Well, that depends. Like down the line, you know, you have to qualify for it. You have to do so many projects that are SAG projects, and then I think it's like 3 SAG projects, and they have to be like even if you just say one word. If you say, even if they just give you one line or one word, you're qualified automatically. But now you got to pay to join the union, you know. So a lot of people think it's easy too. They just you still got to pay for the union. The union is like about $3,000 to join. You know?
Yeah, it's a fucking mafia.
So it's still
they're there to protect people, man. So
so it's a hustle, man. You know, and you just got to be on it, man. You know? So
the season opened up this year, August, just from what I understand, right? So it's already been rolling. How many episodes did they do in the series?
They did 10 episodes, and I'm on like 6 episodes.
Okay.
Of the 10, yeah.
And you're playing the son. I
play Emilio, the chef.
There we go.
The sous chef for Bobby's restaurant.
I saw I saw that on the trailer. So
okay. Bobby owns his own Japanese infusion with German restaurant, you know, and you know Bobby, you know, he's a crazy kid, man. You know, he's always trying to do different stuff, man. And so he opens up, he partners up with the guy named Chain. I don't know if you remember Chain in one of the old episodes, but so they ended up partnering up. And Bobby's the one that does all the hard work because he's the chef. You know, he's the money guy. You know?
Yeah.
But Bobby's the one that running the whole restaurant, and I'm the chef, the sous chef with Bobby. You know, and I'm like kind of like his voice of reason and always trying to help him out and give him advice. You know, and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So, you know, whether it's work or off work. You know, because he has little issues with Hank. You know, for the people that haven't seen it, you know, I don't want to spoil it too much, but yeah.
Yeah, we can't. We don't want to.
I don't get to it, but
we need them to check it out. Go on Hulu and watch the series.
Yeah, Hulu and Disney Plus.
Oh, it's on Disney Plus, right? Yeah. Cool. Is it something that's back and is going to stay now, or do you think that are they talking about the next season already, or
Well, I could say that they gave us 2 seasons, so
nice, okay.
So 14 and 15 are done.
Okay,
I mean 14 is out right now.
Okay,
15 is coming, so that one's already done.
Got it.
And so Hulu said, it goes, hey, depending on the numbers.
Yeah, it's all done.
Yeah. And just to remind Hulu, the numbers, they were pretty big. So
Man.
we want to see more seasons.
It was a great show, man. I loved the trailer. It was funny to see the family come back. The way that they positioned it.
Yeah, 15 years later, man.
Yeah, 15 years later, and then they come back and the technology has changed in their universe. So. Pretty badass. I enjoyed the trailer. If people want to follow you, I know you're on social media.
Yeah, all my social media is at bigcitric, BIGCITRIC. If you're wondering what a citric is, it's citric acid. Because I'm everywhere, like citric acid. You know what I'm saying? If you look it up, you'll know. I'm everywhere.
Obviously you've been blessed and you've gotten to experience a lot of great things. For the person that's out there watching, what are some of the key things that got you to where you're at today?
I would say consistency.
Ooh, that was the first word in my mouth. I was like, oh, okay.
Consistency.
And that's the vibe I've gotten off of you since we started, bro. You've been consistent. So what other
consistency and for me it works. Lots of prayer, meditation. A lot of positivity, just positive thoughts, and just know that everything's gonna work out,
Right.
Even though we have struggles and things, thrown at us, we all have obstacles, and it's how you maneuver around them, you keep going.
Amen. When I hear the word meditation, what is your version of meditation? Because when you look up meditation, it's the definition sounds differently than what it is, because meditation can come in many different
forms. Yeah.
I could be in the sauna, closing my eyes, and I'm meditating, right? I'm trying to reconfigure my brain, my mind. I could be out walking in the street. I can be, just what is your version of meditation?
My version.
You're from the hood, eh? That's
right.
No.
Is smoke a fat joint and pray.
Hey, that's a form of meditation.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I mean, I'll be honest with you. That to me, meditation is basically is another version of praying.
Yeah.
It's just basically the same thing because you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
You're getting in touch with a higher power, man.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying. That I feel that I feel there's a higher power. I feel there's a negative and a positive, energy.
Yeah.
And depending what route you want to go, that's where you're gonna go.
Yeah, I completely can resonate with that. I wake up every morning, and first thing that comes out of my mouth is "Thank you, God."
Yeah, that's the first thing. I thank God every day.
Everything.
It's the first thing, man. Is that
first thing, man. I just when the first breath that when I'm awake, I'm like, thank you, God, for another day. I'm here. Let's go to battle. And
exactly.
then and that's, to me, every day is war.
Yeah.
Because the minute that I get up, within the first hour or so, by the time I pick up the phone and I go through my emails, I already got problems.
Yeah, exactly.
I got problems in there.
So you got to start it off the right way, man. And clear your mind first, and then get to that. Yeah, I'm the same way, dog.
And I've made that a discipline in myself.
Yeah.
I've been consistent. My routine: I get up at 5:00 in the morning, and from 5 to 10 is my day. It's me, Mauricio, like building myself. From 10 to, let's just say 10 to 4, it's another day.
Yeah.
And then from 4 to 9 o'clock, when I get into the bed, so what I do is I break up one day into 3 days.
Yeah.
So that way I maximize myself because fuck, if we don't, bro,
I do the same.
We'll burn out.
Yeah, no, I do the same.
We'll burn out.
Yeah.
There's no way I can go hard.
Yeah.
That
I'll do the same. Yeah. I'll go hard for a couple of days. Get everything situated, and then try to take some time, a couple of days off, and to recoup. But I do the same thing for the last 3 years.
Yeah.
I want to say 3 to 4 years. That's been my discipline too. I get up at 5 in the morning because I used to get up like at 11, 12.
Man,
but for the last 3, 4 years, I've been getting up at 5 in the morning. So between 5 and 6:30, it's like I'm just chilling, praying.
Yeah.
Drink some coffee, straight black coffee in the morning. And I do my prayers. I'll listen to some good, feel-good music after that. I'll be chilling. By 6:30, I'm out. I hit the gym.
What's your favorite song? What's your favorite chill up song?
In the morning, there's a song by Forrest Frank called "Life Is Good."
Life is good, Forrest Frank.
Yeah, look it up, man.
All right, I am.
And I bump that shit every morning, man.
Nice.
I go in my little studio. I have my little studio office.
Yeah.
And I go in there, but I'll do my prayers first. I'll do maybe like about 20 minutes of praying, and just talking to God, do heart to heart, conversation with God. And then after that, while I'm drinking my coffee,
Yeah.
and then I'll throw on that song, I'll be bumping that for a while. And by 6:30, I'm out the door, man, hit the gym, man.
Well, man, I gotta say, it's an honor, man, to be here with you, and it's a pleasure, man.
Thank you for inviting me, man.
To know that we're neighbors, and to see that success is there for all of us.
Yeah.
We just got to go out there and take it. And then we got to stay consistent. We got to work hard, and and then do good.
Yeah.
That's one of the things that I've learned, that the more I give and the good things that I put out there, the more good and the more that comes back towards me. Right.
Yeah, exactly.
And it took me a while to learn that, because when I was in that nightlife scene, I was heavy, man. I was living the lifestyle.
Oh no, I can imagine. I know a lot of homies like that, though, that were like doing the same thing.
And I lived it, bro. And I lived it. I mean, it's
a wild lifestyle.
And it was fun, but it was very me. It was very self-centered.
But now you wouldn't be able to keep up with it.
Hell no. I've gone out a couple times, and I'm like, I need to get to bed, man.
I'm the same way, man.
I already know that if I decide I want to full throttle, I already know. I know me. It's not one fucking drink, or it's not one party. No, it's fucking. We're going till 7, 8. We're going all in.
Going all the way
We're
in, man.
all the way.
That's how go big or go home, man. That's how you look at it.
So for me, I know my boundaries, my brother.
Yeah,
so,
same here, dog. Same here, man.
Anyway, man, I want to say thank you again for taking the trip from LA to the Bay.
Oh, for sure, man.
To be here. While you're in town, man, you got to go to San Francisco.
Yeah, no, for sure.
You got to go do the touristy stuff while you're here with you and the crew. One of my favorite restaurants is Cha Cha Cha. There's a bunch of other great restaurants.
Yeah.
You can go through the Mission. There's a lot of great stuff out there. But enjoy it while you're out here, man.
Yeah, no, for sure, man. And thank you for the books too, by the way, man.
You're welcome, and congratulations on your success.
Yeah, I appreciate it,
and your
man.
continued success that comes. I look forward through not only, and I want to thank Veronica for making this connection. Because what I want to do is from this point moving forward, creating new relationships, new friendships, and seeing how we can help each other get to the top.
Yeah, exactly.
My thing is, I'd love to be in a movie. I'd like to make Smoke and Mirrors into it. This movie right here, this book.
That's the title right there for sure, dog.
And this is a '90s movie right here. This is like I already have the song in my head, like the intro song. I already have the first vision of what the movie looks like.
I love that disco ball, dog.
That's right.
I love it.
That's right. So
brings back memories, man.
Hey, and all it takes is these seeds that we plant along the way, and something will happen.
You just never know, man. You say you plant the seeds, and you just never know how big that seed's gonna grow, man, or what direction it's gonna go. But like you said, you gotta plant that seed at some point.
That's right, man.
You know.
Anyway, man, I want to thank you again.
Thank you, man. Appreciate
for being
you,
here. Man. Shout out to Veronica and to everybody else out there for watching. It's Mauricio Mejia live here at Studio B with my boy Anthony Campos. Don't forget King of the Hill, and we got it.
Hulu and Disney Plus.
There we go. There we go. See,
Yeah.
my boy's got my back. So let's go.
Like, comment, subscribe. Mauricio Mejia live on YouTube.